Welcome to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Day 2 of the Mid-Atlantic Regional rolls on here in Bristol, Connecticut on a gorgeous morning for softball. Minersville, Pennsylvania is coming off a convincing Game 1 win over New York yesterday, while Delmar, Maryland got yesterday off. The traditional softball powerhouse is ready to go today. Here's a look at the division at a glance. 6 teams all still alive, fighting for a spot potentially in the Little League Softball World Series coming up in Greenville, North Carolina. 60 feet base paths, 40 feet pitching distance. We play 6-inning games of regulation, and everybody plays. And welcome everybody, along with Alex Powers. I'm Doug Sherman. Glad you're with us this morning for another matchup like we've already seen today, with one team having already played a game yesterday. The other had yesterday off. Absolutely.
Maryland is coming into this game well rested. Pennsylvania had a big outing yesterday, kind of shaking the nerves a little bit. But what we expect to see this morning is some really great defense and pitching from the Maryland team against some really great bats with Pennsylvania.
Well, we'll take a look at the bracket and see what is on the line for this matchup here today. Today's winner gets tomorrow off before facing New Jersey Tuesday at 4 o'clock in a winner's bracket game. Now today's loser will play an elimination game at 1 p.m. tomorrow against Washington, D.C. And for Pennsylvania, which piled up the hits in yesterday's 10-2 win, lines up this way once again. Allie Heffron, Peyton Withelder, Maddie Graver, Emmeline Daubert, Kenzie Gresson, Shea Holly, Addie Burlisle, Mallory Hopkins, Finley France, Grace Wetzel, Kendall and Mike, and Gray Hopkins. And the pitcher they are going to face, Rowan Preston, and she is a formidable opponent in the circle.
Preston looking to come in, and we talk all the time about just the ability to throw strikes and the effectiveness of getting ahead early in these counts and working from ahead. But Rowan Preston is going to have a couple of pitches in her repertoire here. Fastball, changeup, a little bit of a rise ball, but it's going to be that above average velocity that we can expect.
Well, she's known as a Ro-Ro, a dominant strikeout artist again this year. And her fastball sits at about 50 miles an hour, will touch 54, 55 on occasion. And she is set to go against Allie Heffron. And Heffron takes ball 1. It'll be Heffron, Withelder, and Graver. The top of this potent lineup. And there's our favorite singer, Stevie Nicks. That's another one that catches your attention. Like, how on earth does a 12 or 13-year-old girl say Stevie Nicks is her favorite?
There are a couple of classics, of course, from Stevie Nicks. Fun fact, in college, my senior year, I got to go to a Stevie Nicks concert while we were in Virginia playing a series.
Wow.
The coach took us, after the games one night. How cool is that?
That is very cool. A little slap bunt to the left side. Riley Phillips in to make the play. Nicely done. 1 away here in the first.
0-0, Peyton Withelder.
And now Peyton Withelder. And before every single game, Peyton honors her beloved Pap. After his passing, she misses her granddad every single day, Grandpa Rick. He died this spring, and she has carried on his memory, and he would love to see Peyton and the girls make it all the way here to Bristol, Connecticut this year. Peyton is the starting third baseman today, number 2 in the batting order for Pennsylvania.
So much of these athletes' journeys are not just about the player themselves, mom and dad. It's the siblings, it's the grandparents, aunts and uncles who get bought into these careers and play sport at any kind of competitive level. Really takes a village. So you love to see the buy-in of the family. Unfortunately for Peyton, the passing of her grandpa, but knowing that they got to share some special memories together out on the field.
And granddaughter is an on-base machine, has herself a 2-1 count. Slap the other way, foul. And that's her dad down at the third base coaching box, the manager, and there is Pap after they won that banner a year ago.
Such special memories coming off that sectionals win. Something they'll always remember together.
And that is Matt Withelder, Pap's son, Peyton's dad. Longtime volunteer. He actually coaches 8 different youth teams in and around Minersville. And he's apparently going to switch to Little League Baseball next year because he's got 2 sons coming up. His daughter makes it out to shortstop. And there are 2 away. Claire Ford, the shortstop for Maryland, on the play.
Number 6, Madison Graver.
So we've seen the left side of the infield defensively for Maryland. On the right side, Harper Shockley's the second baseman, Sam Timmons at first. Our catcher is Riley Medford. He accepts the pitch, a swinging strike against Maddie Graver. And across the outfield for Maryland to start the game, Joe Miller in left, Allie Russell patrols center, and Olivia Gaddis out in right. Swing and a miss. Very quickly, 0-2 for Rowan Preston, looking for a 1-2-3 top of the first inning. Graver rips it into center field, but the southpaw Russell is there to make the grab. 3 up, 3 down, and we are underway with game 2 of day 2 of the Mid-Atlantic Regional here in Bristol.
To learn more about this event and our teams, be sure to visit the
We welcome you back to the A. Bartlett Giamatti Little League Leadership Training Center in Bristol, Connecticut. And let's take a look at the batting order for Delmar, Maryland. The state champs coming up, making their regional debut here this morning. Riley Phillips, Claire Ford, Rowan Preston, followed by Olivia Gaddis, Riley Medford, Allie Russell, Sam Timmons, Kendall Gibbons, Rylan Twilley. And then you've got 4 more. It's not just 9. Everybody on the roster is in the starting lineup. And you see that 4 of them do not play positions out in the field, at least to start the game. There are no requirements other than it's a continuous batting order that stays intact from beginning to end, so everybody gets a chance to play equally. Here's how they got here. Delmar won a 1-0 game against South County in the title game, outscoring their opponent 16-5, and it's not surprising at all, Alex, to see Delmar, Maryland here in Bristol once again.
Absolutely. They've had so much historical success, and the ability to have been there, done that, that type of mentality, taking it onto the field, gives these athletes just a heightened sense of confidence to go out there and compete, but playing so far on the biggest stage.
And they'll have to deal with Madison Graver. And Maddie says her favorite softball player, Carlin Pickens. What would you do in the batter's box if you had to face Carlin Pickens?
Probably close my eyes and swing. Swing hard. No, just kidding. But Carlin Pickens, known for being one of, if the hardest thrower in NCAA softball history, reported the fastest pitch.
Yeah. First pitch from Maddie Graver is ball 1 to Riley Phillips, the starting third baseman for Delmar, Maryland. And this team has 7 returning players from last year's team that got here but fell short. So they come back to Bristol with the idea that, you know, we didn't get the job done last year, but we're going to do it this year.
Having that kind of redemption mentality, too, definitely helps fuel the fire when you start practicing, talking about the training and preparation that goes into these moments. Last year it was tough, knowing that they walked away with the losses and just trying to figure out how they were going to get better in the offseason. I've done a lot of work to do just that.
Well, this core of girls from Delmar has actually won 3 straight state championships. Phillips is retired 5-3. It's the same core that won the 2024 Miners Maryland State Championship, and then they've won the last two 12Us. And a big part of that is their terrific shortstop, Claire Ford. She's the #1 voice on the team. She's the most polished player they have. And she has been around this program for years. Claire is the youngest of 4 kids to David. Her dad's a physician assistant. Her mom, Kate, is a school teacher. Brothers Jack and Matthias. And then we remember her older sister, Maggie, who won here to reach the Little League World Series back in the day. And there is Maggie. I always get a kick out of this, that the roles reverse. Younger sister was in the stands first, rooting for older sister, and now she's aged out and she comes back and supports her kid sister.
Talk so much about the familiarity too aspect of it and how important that is. Again, just that been there, done that type of feel, whether it's the players themselves, siblings, just knowing that there is a sense of comfortability in the familiarity, and definitely helps you play a little bit better. It's hard to go somewhere for the first time and actually do really well. We talk about that at a college level. You got to get to the World Series before you can really go to the World Series and expect to compete, unless of course you're Texas Tech last 2025 for the first time and then found themselves in the bracket final.
Claire Ford pops it up. The pitcher calls for it and makes the play. Maddie Graver with the put out. And we got a quick glimpse there of Roger Waters, who was coaching at third base. He is the manager for Maryland, and one of the few managers or coaches you see at this level who don't have a daughter on the team. His kids are a little older and they came up through, and now he has cycled back to manage and guide these girls. Rowan Preston grounds out, and that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Maddie Graver. Only 7 pitches for her to set down Maryland in order. The Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And there's a look at one of the buildings, one of the many buildings on the main campus of ESPN here in Bristol, Connecticut, just a few miles from here. Just a short drive. And we at ESPN and here on ESPN Plus are so proud to be aligned once again this year with Little League, both the boys and the girls. It's been a marvelous relationship as it grows and grows and grows. And you know, we're going to have the Little League World Series Championship game played on ABC this year. That's coming up on August the 9th, 3 o'clock at Stallings Stadium in Greenville, North Carolina, where the World Series has been played ever since 2021. Slow roller by Emmeline Daubert, 1 away. When did you first play on national television? Was it at Florida State?
Yeah, it would have had to have been.
You didn't
even
have
then
these
it wasn't.
opportunities.
No, absolutely not. And even then it wasn't every game like a lot of these teams get now with the digital streaming, and the opportunities of just visibility is insane. It was like we would have a couple of games per season that were aired. I make myself sound really old. I'm really not that old yet.
It wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
But it
has grown exponentially.
Yes, in a very short period of time, it seems like. Long time coming, but it's really come on in a short period of time. And these girls, as they fill out the questionnaires and you talk to them, you get a sense of just how much it does mean to them to be on ESPN.
It's so cool. And I mean, I'm from Florida. I have a team that's from the town in which I live right now, Lake Mary, also playing in a regional in the Southeast Regional. And some of them were like, hey, should we be doing media training going into this? Because how often are we going to have to talk? And we don't want to sound crazy. We want to be a little bit prepared. But these athletes are just adorable, but also so poised and so mature, really talented.
Well, the charm of it is that they are 11 and 12
Exactly.
and 13. We don't want you that polished.
Exactly.
We want you to be little girls having a good time.
Just go out there, be yourself, reading through their questionnaires. It's really humbling when I see a lot of them collect those squishies. I'm like, man, then that does make me feel really old.
Well, this is Kenzie Gressens. Mackenzie Gressens, she's 12 years old, from Ashland, Pennsylvania. And on her questionnaire, she says her favorite softball player is Tegan Cavan, the two-time most outstanding player of the Women's College World Series. Gressens had a big first game for Pennsylvania yesterday with a pair of hits. Also drew a walk. That was quite a performance by this Minersville offense yesterday. Rowan Preston's payoff pitch, lifted in the air to center. Russell gives ground, still going back, and she can't make the catch. Off the deep drive, Gressens going to try for three. The play at third, and she is safe.
Mackenzie Gressens gets her hands extended on this pitch, driving it to deep center field, doing her best to come up with it. Is Allie Russell, but just can't make the grab. Really good piece of hitting there by Gressens. Hustles around the bases, slides into third aggressively too. You love to see that kind of competitiveness and grit out there, knowing that, hey, we got to push the first run across for our team.
The bunt is down, but the runner will hold at third. Riley Phillips didn't know that the runner wasn't coming, and so she held on to the ball. So Gressens stays at third. Holly reaches. Runners on the corners with one out.
Great bunt execution there for Shea Holly. Lays down what would have been maybe a safety squeeze. Gonna see if third baseman Riley Phillips forces the throw. No such luck, so good piece of hitting situationally there for Pennsylvania.
And so it stands as a bunt single. And Addie Berlisle, number 99, with a chance to drive in the first run of the game. She shows bunt. The waggle of the bat told me she wasn't going to do it.
No, that gives it away a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little.
But on the pitch, Shea Holly goes down to second. Takes away the force at second base on a ball hit on the ground. This time the bunt is laid down. It's picked up. The glance back to third, throw to first, gets the out. Now the play at the plate. Safe! Mackenzie Gressens timed it perfectly to score the first run of the ball game.
Great job by Addie Berlisle here. Lays down the bunt, the sacrifice. Safety squeeze there, just trying to force the defense to make the plays. Riley Phillips fields it cleanly, fires over to first, but just unable to come up with the timely play at the plate. Really pushing the defense here for Maryland to see how good their catch and throw game is going to be.
So it's a sacrifice bunt, RBI, and the safety squeeze. Shea Holly now at third base, the batter Mallory Hopkins. Here's a good look at Mallory. 5 feet 5 inches tall, heading into the 7th grade. And she is the second in her family to get this far in regionals. Her Aunt Rochelle made regionals back in the 1990s. And the highlight for Mallory so far this summer, she made a great diving catch in the outfield last week to help Minersville win the Pennsylvania State Championship. And that ball, I guess, hit the knob of the bat. She didn't react, so I'm guessing it didn't catch any part of her hand.
That was a good job by the home plate umpire, Brian Poe, to pick that up pretty quickly. It did hit the knob of the bat. And you can tell, too, with the react of the athlete and how I'd be probably cringing in a little bit of pain.
Big strikeout for Rowan Preston to get out of further damage. But Pennsylvania pushes across the game's first run. A triple and a safety squeeze has our score 1-0 PA. The goal is not just to get to Greenville, North Carolina, but it's to win the Little League Softball World Series. Oklahoma did it in 2021. Hewitt, Texas claimed the top prize in 2022. Then a Mid-Atlantic regional team from Massapequa, New York, won it in 23. Carolina won it in 24. And then the Pennsylvania State champs from Johnstown a year ago went from here at the Giamatti Center straight down to Greenville, and they wound up taking home that banner for the World Series championship. Welcome back, everybody, on a breezy but very comfortable Sunday morning, heading towards noontime. Pennsylvania with a 1-0 lead over Maryland, alongside former Florida State All-American and ACC Player of the Year Alex Powers. I'm Doug Sherman. Glad you're with us here. And a lot is riding on the line in this game today. If you win, you get the day off and move into a winner's bracket game on Tuesday. For the loser, you've got to go into an elimination game tomorrow, and your stay here in Bristol could be cut short.
It's a tough spot to be in, but just grateful for the opportunity to play on this stage, on this beautiful field, and what they've been able to do. Again, talk so much about visibility, the growth of the game. What an opportunity these 11, 12, 13-year-olds have.
Olivia Gaddis after the first pitch off the end of the bat. Franz to Berlyle for the first out. And that'll bring up Riley Medford, the catcher for Maryland.
Medford.
And the folks at Delmar Little League are so happy Riley is back after missing last year's regional due to a broken thumb that she suffered in game 1 of 2025 All-Stars, and that was a huge loss. She's a terrific catcher and a big piece of this team. Their number 5 hitter in the lineup today. That's a foul ball. And she's the type of girl who is everybody's best friend. She's the team prankster, keeps everybody loose. And her manager, Roger Waters, said says she's the team jokester and has the biggest personality. So not only the production last year lost, but the personality was tough for Delmar to overcome.
And I remember having that conversation with last year's manager and just knowing what an impact this kid had, and that was Dustin Shiles for that team, and what they were able to do still and kind of rally around her, still coming together, competing, finding ways to win. But yeah, one player can really make a big difference on a team's success.
She's got a big arm behind the plate, a big bat in the box. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Maddie Graver. And here comes the payoff. Ripped up the middle, under the glove of the second baseman, Franz. It's a base hit, the first of the game for Maryland. Medford is aboard.
Talk about packing a punch here. Riley Medford just drives it right up the middle, finding a way on base. First base knock for Maryland, trying to get something going.
And now Allie Russell, who gave a shout out this week for her favorite teacher in school, Miss B. Miss B likes the line drive, but it dives in the glove of Franz. Diving headfirst safely back to the bag is Medford, and there are 2 away.
Now batting number 66.
And the teams that do the best and go the furthest in this tournament, in my opinion, are going to be the ones that play the best defense. You got to make the plays like this. Good heads up D there on the line drive grab. Attempted double play as well. Got to keep your head on a swivel, and having that kind of aggressiveness defensively definitely keeps the base runners honest too. Nobody advancing on extra bases.
The batter is Sam Timmons. No batting gloves. The terrific defensive first baseman for Maryland.
I'm not gonna lie, the batting gloves, the no batting gloves definitely makes me think she's a little tougher. As somebody that wore batting gloves myself.
Okay.
So.
I like it. It catches your attention, just like at the major league level and in college ball, baseball and softball. Most everybody wears gloves, it seems, and so it stands out. I think in more modern times, although he's been retired a long time, I think Jorge Posada, the great catcher for the Yankees, was somebody who did not wear gloves. But it is unusual, but she's a real good hitter, and like I said, a real good fielder. At 5'7", she's the perfect target defensively over there. But down she goes. A base hit and a runner stranded. 1-0 our score, Pennsylvania. Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Here at Breen Field, it's what they call the primary diamond here at the Giamatti Little League center, but we've got diamonds all over the place. I think there are 4 or 5 practice diamonds along with the dormitories that the girls get to stay in.
Leading off for Pennsylvania, number 29.
And we head to the top of the 3rd inning. Finley Franz, the 9-hitter in the lineup, stands in against Rowan Preston. And Rowan's first pitch is a called strike by our home plate umpire, Brian Poe. Our umpires around the diamond, Brandley Wathen, John Wagner, Ryan Yamagata. And we can't thank them enough. These are umpires who volunteer their time each and every year to come here and spend not just a day or two, but a full week putting in long hours to make sure we can have this event.
Such a cool opportunity, not just for the players, the coaches, the parents, but the staff. They get to be a part of this, us included.
Yep.
It's such a privilege to be able to highlight these kind of games.
Nice pitch on 0-2 to elevate for Preston. Franz unable to catch up.
Rowan Preston is on fire. She's spinning the ball nice and tight. She's throwing it firm. That one elevated in the zone up above the hands, but getting the big swing and the miss by Finley Franz.
So she has struck out the last 2 batters she has faced. Her first 2 Ks of the game, now dealing with Grace Wetzel. In the circle, Rowan Preston's not the biggest girl at 5'2", but she can deliver. Number 7 she wears was her dad's number. Her dad, by the way, C.J. Preston, is their first base coach. And Rowan says her dream job is to be a nurse like my mom. And in the meantime, Rowan says she most would want to get some pitching tips from Jordy Fromm or Sam Landry. Either would be just fine.
Either would be amazing. Are you kidding?
You got that right.
Both fantastic at pitching, and Jordy Fromm, one of the best 2-way players in the country, just graduated this past season.
That is the first walk given up by Rowan Preston. She's only allowed 1 hit so far, but it was costly. A triple last inning to Mackenzie Gressens, who would score on a safety squeeze. And now Kendall Mike stands in. And she looks at a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to the big Philadelphia Eagles fan. She also says macaroni and cheese is her favorite. You see, her dream job is to be an architect, and her favorite musician these days is Megan Moroney. And I have seen Megan Moroney now 3 times.
No way.
As a warm-up act for Kenny Chesney.
Wow. I do know what kind of genre of music she is.
You do.
To be fair,
well,
in this
good.
country, yes.
And to be fair, I'm there willingly, but it's not my choice going there. Mrs. Sherman loves Kenny Chesney.
She's got good taste.
Get the out at second, throw gets away at first, and the batter, Mike, is going to make it to second base standing. So Wetzel is retired, 6 unassisted, and then the throwing error allows Kendall Mike to take second. She reached down the fielder's choice.
Good hustle, hits this one hard and up the middle, and had there not been a force out at second base, could have been maybe a foot race down the line at first. Would have been a tough play for the shortstop, Claire Ford, to try to make while trying to move up the middle, but with the walk to Grace Wetzel, just an at-bat go. Definitely makes that play a little bit easier defensively. Really good stuff for Maryland.
Now Gray Hopkins has a big spot here. A base hit could make the score 2-0. We're in the top of the 3rd here in Bristol, Connecticut. Preston pounds the strike zone.
Gray Hopkins is one of the players that had the biggest hit in that state championship game for Pennsylvania. Had the go-ahead hit with the RBIs. Played a crucial role in that one, but that was a total team victory, and one that Coach said he's just so proud of looking back. Coach Matt Withelder, and what the team was able to accomplish together. Everybody fighting their way through that one.
And again, she does that from the 12 hole in the lineup. She was a real thorn in the side of Bullskin Little League in that state championship game. Here, though, she succumbs to the high heat of Rowan Preston, who navigates around a one-out walk to keep the score 1-0 Pennsylvania.
Be sure to stop by our
Welcome to the Little League Softball World Series.
This is as big as the event has ever been.
12 strikeouts tonight.
Find the glove!
It is out of here!
The competition has definitely elevated. The best is yet to come.
We're getting closer. Beginning August 2nd down in Greenville, North Carolina. The recent champions of this Mid-Atlantic region. And you can see Delmar, Maryland was a winner in 2022. They did not win it all, however. They lost to Midway Little League of Hewitt, Texas in that title game. But I mean, the list of players who have come through Delmar Little League and have done so well. Macy Rickards, Avery Noggle, the Twilley sisters, Ava and Ellie, Cheyenne Willie, Livy Smith, Kate Quaid, Claire Ford is back, has had great success. And then the Preston girls, Elle has moved on, but Rowan is pitching, the returning ace. It is just one after another, and as we mentioned before, Alex, Roger Waters has come back to manage this year's team, and it certainly seems to be the right blend.
A super special opportunity. We mentioned it earlier, but one of the only managers, the only one in this regional that does not have a daughter on the roster, just knowing that his children have kind of come up through the Little League program themselves and have obviously gone further beyond it, but somebody that's not really personally tied other than just his desire to be here says a lot.
You saw the note there on Kendall Gibbons. She wants to be a pediatrician. Her mom is a nursing supervisor. Caitlin wants to get into the medical field as well. She's retired on the ground out for one away. And that'll bring up Rylan Twilley. And I just mentioned a couple of Twilleys who have been great players for Delmar Little League, but they are not related. Ava and Ellie, and by the way, Ava has moved on. She's now a freshman at Mississippi State, who was a dominant pitcher here just a few years ago, and now she's a scholarship athlete in the SEC.
How cool is that?
There is talent on these fields. So I saw the Twilley name, thought for sure they must be cousins or something, but they are not related. But there is Ava, who was one of the dominant forces here in this Mid-Atlantic Regional. Meanwhile, the young lady at the plate, pretty accomplished herself. She's got a lot going on in her life besides just playing softball in the summertime. Well, she says her favorite sport that she competes in, Rylan Twilley, is wrestling. She also plays soccer, but in wrestling, she won a state girls championship in the state of Maryland.
Part of that, too, is a big reason Manager Roger Waters says she's just flat out the toughest girl on the team. She's a great team player and will always give 100%, as you see the athleticism there in the wrestling photo. Just flat out competing.
She takes the pitch down low, 3-2. She also lives on a farm with her family that includes 80 rescue animals. And Ryland says her favorites are the donkeys, the horses, and the emus. And she takes called strike 3. Second K of the day from Maddie Graver.
Maddie Graver flips this one in nicely. Great spot there on the outside corner, a little fastball action. Good location. Gonna freeze Twilly.
Kennedy Griffith swings through the first pitch from Graver with 2 out and nobody on in the bottom of the 3rd. And Kennedy Griffith, I think, leads the region in nicknames. She has Kenny Bopper, Yukon, or White Lightning. Not sure what any of them mean. Kenny Bopper we can figure out, a first name being Kennedy.
Her and Jalen Brown seem to have the most.
Yeah, you're right. Jalen may have more than that.
They both have several. Hard to keep up.
Jalen Brown, the terrific pitcher for New Jersey, who we have seen each of the last 2 mornings. A combined 9 innings pitched. He's gotten a couple of wins. Popped up. It lands in fair territory. And fortunately for Minersville, the spin took it into foul ground.
Good hustle here and really good heads-up defense. Maddie Graver breaks in to try to make the catch, but just can't come up with it in time. So does a good job not touching the ball, allowing it to roll foul. Good heads-up play by both her and Emmeline.
And Griffith strikes out. So a 1-2-3 inning. That's 5 in a row retired by Maddie Graver.
Maddie Graver dealing, painting corners well, mixing speed, super effective out of the circle. Really good stuff from Graver, looking to go in and score a couple more runs here.
Back on a breezy early afternoon here in Bristol, Connecticut. Pennsylvania with a 1-0 lead. We're halfway home in this second game of the day of the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Pennsylvania and Maryland. First time we've seen Delmar, Maryland so far this weekend. They got yesterday off. The only run of the game so far came on a safety squeeze in the 2nd inning. Knocked in by Addie Berlisle after Mackenzie Gressens had tripled for Pennsylvania. Looking to add to their lead now with the top of the order, Allie Heffron. Will be followed by Peyton Withelder and Maddie Graver. Allie had a base hit yesterday. You see she's 0 for 1 today. Kind of had a slap bunt attempt to get on in the 1st inning. So Riley Phillips at third base pinched in once again. This one's ripped up the middle, right by Preston into center field. A leadoff base hit for Allie Heffron.
Great adjustment too by Allie Heffron. She was the first hitter to have to face Rowan Preston and see what she was offering, so didn't have much luck that first time through. Did a good job this one, getting something a little bit up in the zone that she could get her hands extended on, driving it right back up the middle. Trusting her speed too is going to be a big thing for Heffron.
And the 13-year-old Peyton Withelder bunts that ball foul. And you can see it's fun to watch the infielders all adjusting rapidly anytime one of the girls squares to bunt. Sam Timmons at first, Riley Phillips at third. See if the bunt is still on with the 0-1 pitch. This one deadened right in front of home plate. The throw goes down to second. Close play, but the call is safe.
Good sacrifice bunt here by Peyton Withelder. If you're Allie Heffron, you just got to be heads up there, good hustle to second base, but you got to slide. You never know when the ball or the play is going to come to your base. So good heads up stuff to make sure she got there in time, but definitely looking to slide, I think, moving it forward.
Now there's a beauty of a bunt by Maddie Graver, and she beats it out. The bases are loaded. Throw to third. Easily back was Allie Heffron, and the bases are loaded with nobody out after the bunt single.
Put the pressure on the defense. A couple of back-to-back bunts here. Maddie Graver helping her own cause, finding a way, just putting the pressure on the defense to make them make the plays. The short game is tough. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to be fully committed here. And this Pennsylvania offense is doing a good job deadening the ball.
So a ground ball single to center, followed by a sacrifice bunt where the batter reached on a fielder's choice, and then a bunt single that was perfectly placed by Maddie Graver has loaded the bases for the cleanup hitter, Emmeline Daubert.
And the hard part too is if you're Pennsylvania, you knew coming into this game that Maryland was going to have a good pitching staff, and so you see them relying heavily on the short game. Maryland just unable to make the adjustment so far.
Daubert had a double yesterday. She grounded out to second, her first time up today. Ripped through the middle into center. That's going to score a pair of runs, and down to second on the throw to home goes Emmeline Daubert after her two-run single makes the score 3-0.
When you got bases loaded, you got to have a good swing on a good pitch. Emmeline Daubert goes right back up the middle. A couple of runs coming in to score, tacking on to that Pennsylvania lead right now. Really good stuff from your four-hole hitter, Daubert. Everybody's fired up.
Well, Pennsylvania's picking up where it left off yesterday in a 10-2 win over New York. They've got the offense rolling once again and threatening to do more here in the fourth inning. Mackenzie Gressens had the triple and scored a run in the second. She stands in.
Something else to note too, just the success of Rowan Preston with that base hit by Emmeline Daubert. That was the first hit of the game that had RBIs come in. The first run of the game for Pennsylvania was scored on a bunt. Again, another short game. Minersville relying heavily on it. And until they start making the plays and showing Pennsylvania that they can field their positions, I'd keep doing it.
In case you're wondering, Minersville, Pennsylvania is a borough of fewer than 5,000 residents. It's a mining town, a couple of hours northwest of Philadelphia. They were automatic District 24 champs this year, then beat Carbon twice to win the Section 6 title. And then after losing Monday at States, they came back to win the state title and punch their ticket here.
I think one of the other notable things about their journey was in that state tournament, they had to play the same team 3 times to advance. Coach Withelder said that was a big gut punch for us.
Preston's throw is high. The runner is safe, and now the runner from third comes in. Graver slides in. Daubert now stands at third, and down to second goes Gressens after the throwing error.
Just keep putting the ball in play here, putting the pressure on the defense. You see the slight look back at third base of Maddie Graver. Rowan Preston then kind of rushes the throw. It goes high. Mackenzie Gressens gets on by way of error. Everybody advances. A run comes in to score. Tough break there for Maryland.
Yeah, Rowan Preston did her job looking the runner back, just didn't finish the play. The out is completed. The play at the plate. Out. A double play as Riley Medford applied the tag to the leg of Emmeline Daubert. There's some sharp defense, Alex.
Stepped up big. Third baseman Riley Phillips does a good job fielding her position, fires across the diamond to first. First baseman Sam Timmons fires to home. Bang, bang play, tag out at the plate. Really good defense there. The catch and throw game right on the money.
That pitch in the dirt, but I think it hit the home plate umpire Brian Poe and stayed right at home plate. So that play was 5-4-2. And the first 2 outs of this 4th inning. The only runner on base at the moment is Gressens at third.
I know we were kind of sitting on top of it from up here in the press box, but if I'm coach, I might try to challenge that play at the plate just because it was close. All you can do is ask. Lose a challenge, you're already halfway through the game.
Yeah, the managers each get 2 unsuccessful challenges a game. So Rowan Preston gives up 3 runs, but she bounces back nicely to avoid further damage. Nonetheless, they head to the bottom of the 4th, trailing 4-0.
3 runs up on the board, and it all started with this one. Allie Heffron getting it started. A couple of runs coming in to score. Maddie Graver helping her own cause. Really good stuff by Pennsylvania.
Want to see some girls with game? Tune in to an exciting summer of softball and visit littleleaguesoftball.org for great content, information about starting a softball league, and much more. Good crowd here in Bristol, Connecticut. Perfect weather for softball. And once again, we get a chance to see this Delmar Little League team from Delmar, Maryland. It's a town of 4,000 right on the state line between Delaware and Maryland, hence the name Del and Mar. They're about 15 minutes away from the Baltimore Orioles Class A affiliate, the Delmarva Shorebirds, who play at Purdue Stadium in Salisbury, Maryland. So there are a lot of Orioles fans on this Delmar roster. And it's a community effort, as it is for almost all of these teams that we see here. They have such wonderful support, and a lot of that is financial as well.
And so helpful are those donations that come from the local businesses. Delmar Pizza being a big one of those. The team was able to raise over $18,000 thanks to corporate sponsors. But Delmar Pizza, some of the best in Maryland is what I hear.
Well, Roger Waters says it's 100% the best pizza in Maryland. Well, I'm going to take his word for it, but apparently, you know, they don't just back up
25, Rachel Wright.
this softball team and the softball program with money or with pizza. They do it across the board. There are meals provided all the time for teams that could use some good pizza.
I know a couple of broadcasters that could use some
Got that
good
right.
pizza.
I'm ready. Rachel Wright is retired on the grounder back to Maddie Graver.
Now batting number 3, Joe Miller.
And there are 13 players on this Maryland roster, all 13 in the continuous batting order. And so we're down to Joe Miller, the starting left fielder, who bats 12th. And so by math, obviously 4 of those in the starting batting order can't play in the field. There are no requirements anymore in Little League softball for the girls to have to play in the field. They can, and the managers do shuffle them in and out, but it allows 2 things. 1, you can have your best defensive players out there at all times if you want. And 2, it makes sure everybody gets an equal chance to bat. But Joe Miller plays a key spot from the 13 hole. She's a good defensive left fielder. Trying to find any way on base here for Delmar. And we have talked about the fact that the strengths of this Delmar team are pitching and defense, and they're going to have to scratch and claw their way and manufacture offense. And we've seen that manifest so far through the first 3+ innings here today.
One of the things that manager Roger Waters had told us, he's like, hey, we need that clutchness. We need somebody to step up offensively and come through with the big swing, because we've kind of struggled to find that groove. We're really good, lights out, pitching, defense for the most part.
Quickly 2 away as Maddie Graver continues to be in control.
Great pitch by Maddie Graver. Flip the off speed in there, down in the zone. The big swing and the miss by Joe Miller. Good attempt, but Maddie Graver, how about it? Showing us mixing speeds.
Now, Coach C.J. Preston says of Harper Shockley, who stands in, and he did it in all caps in the questionnaire, she's very talkative.
Number 23.
And I think he says it with all due
Harper
affection.
Shockley.
But the 12-year-old from Laurel, Maryland, apparently loves to talk about her favorite player, Carlin Pickens, among other things. Good eye there. 2 balls, no strikes. Shockley takes a look down to the third base coach's box at her manager. And you know what? We've talked about the manager, Roger Waters, coming back at 58 years old without a daughter on the team. He's an accomplished athlete. He played both football and baseball at James Madison University back in the day, and he was both a quarterback and an inside linebacker, and was good enough at linebacker to play some professional football in the Arena Football League. And he has coached his 2 children up through softball. They both were scholarship athletes. There's Dad, ready to throw the football for the JMU football team back in the day. But his son Luke became an All-Sun Belt Conference infielder at Old Dominion University after his Little League days were done. And then Roger Waters' daughter Lily, after softball, went on to play field hockey at Queens University in Charlotte. So he has been involved in youth sports at all levels, boys and girls, and now he's volunteering his time once again, even without one of his kids on the team. Strike 3 call. It's another impressive inning for Maddie Graver. Through 4 innings, she has allowed just 1 base runner and has struck out now 5.
Maddie Graves on a roll, back-to-back with the changeup. Big pitch, big take. Fire her up. She's feeling it.
Find Little League on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the official handles at Little League. And don't forget to use the hashtag LLWS. That's both for softball and for baseball. You know, the folks from Minersville, Pennsylvania have found it, and they have built quite a program that had quite a trip to get here to Bristol. They were the last team to get into the field of 6. Because the Pennsylvania State Championships that were held in Erie, Pennsylvania, all the way out in the northwest part of the state, didn't wrap up until late Tuesday night. And then they had to get in their cars and make their way across the Keystone State. They stopped in Minersville for a brief stop and then made their way here to Bristol, Connecticut. But they have seen no worse for the wear. Like you said, they're kids. They're 11, 12, 13. They aren't tired. Come on.
Very adaptable, right? But yeah, some of the journeys have been much quicker than others. Some have had their tickets punched for several weeks. Some just this week. Quite the journey, and adaptability is huge. Just rolling with the punches. But hey, for an opportunity to play here on this stage, they'll take it.
And that's where mom and dad and the families and the communities come in so clutch to be able to figure out all the logistics in such short order and come up with the money, because until you get to Greenville, you're on your own. And so these communities raise a lot of money to make sure everybody can pay for the hotels and get themselves there. Now the girls here stay in a dormitory, but it's for the family members as well. Punch the other way, Mallory Hopkins able to beat the throw from the right fielder Olivia Gaddis. Now it gets away and she's going to take second. A base hit and a throwing error allow for Mallory Hopkins to stand at second base.
Good piece of hitting here by Mallory Hopkins. Just hits it off the end of the bat, but hits it where they're not, opposite field. Falls into shallow right field. Good effort out there by Olivia Gaddis. Tries to throw it to first, but again, the catch and throw game is so important. Got to take care of the softball, otherwise you get extra bases by way of accident.
Now Finley Franz went after that pitch. It's a strike. Finley comes from a terrific softball family. Her mom, Lisa, was a Division II All-American 2 times as an outfielder at Bloomsburg University in Pennsylvania. And she's a school teacher. There's mom and coaches Finley. She's also the player advocate for this team. And so what that means, you know, when you have all men in the coaching staff, you've got Matt, Scotty, and John. They stay in hotels, and at the dormitories, you've got a couple of the moms who stay with the girls to help supervise and make sure everything's okay. And so Finley's mom is one of those who is giving in that way of her time. Her daughter Finley with a ground ball, play at the plate, safe. Hopkins able to slide in under the tag.
Good job here by Finley Franz, just putting the ball in play again. Put the pressure on the defense. Good effort by Rowan Preston on the backhanded grab, fielding her position, tries to fire
Pennsylvania,
to her catcher, Riley Medford,
Wetzel.
but everything had to happen really fast with the good read Mallory Hopkins had gotten on the ball. I love the aggressive base running right now for Pennsylvania.
Grace Wetzel pops up the bunt. It comes down before it's fielded by Phillips, who recovers nicely to get the out. Now over to third. The play. The slide is safe. And I think that's the right call. The tag, which was applied by the left fielder, Joe Miller, who came in to cover the base, looked to me like it didn't quite get there in time.
Aggressive base running all the way around here. Just got to force the plays, and the tag wasn't made. It was the right call. Good heads-up stuff by the umpires. It is going to go to an eventual review, but just what a fantastic slide right there by Finley Franz. Able to work her way around the defender. Riley Phillips, avoid being tagged.
No, again, it was Joe Miller, the left
that's
fielder.
right. It was, yep.
Again, I love the hustle of Joe coming in. Just couldn't get the tag.
Just trying to make it happen, and that's wreaking havoc out there. The defense out of position. You got your left fielder covering third base. I mean, whatever it takes to try to make a play. A shout out to Joe Miller, too, for the heads-up stuff, to just cover a base that she saw was empty. You see her doing her best. The throw kind of took her wide.
Yeah.
Finley Franz, good slide. Pennsylvania has been so aggressive on the bases.
So it is a challenge by Maryland, challenging the safe call at third base. It came on a sacrifice bunt by Grace Wetzel that was fielded by Riley Phillips, who got the out at first base. But Finley Franz timed her sprint to third just right, made a good slide to avoid the tag, and we'll see if it stands.
Part of that, too, was the sacrifice bunt. You had Harper Shockley over at first covering. She is the second baseman, so she's covering first on the bunt. And then you had her trying to throw across the diamond. Again, Joe Miller out of position.
And the call stands. By the way, we saw the ball cap being worn by the manager. I love the logo they've got on the Delmar cap. Looks to me like an old Houston Astros logo, just with a D on it. So now the infield comes in with one out and Franz at third. Mike fouls that one off the screen. Kendall and Mike reached on a fielder's choice her first time up. Kendall is a 13-year-old. She's 5 feet 6 inches tall. Bouncer right side. This will score the run. Nice job by Kendall and Mike to bring in Finley Franz. And that makes our score 6-0 Pennsylvania.
Good team runs across the board. Doesn't always have to be the base hits. It can be the fielder's choices with the RBIs, just putting the ball in play opposite field. Can advance runner 60 feet. Good full team effort here for Pennsylvania.
First pitch lifted into center field. Allie Russell puts it away. 2 more runs put on the board. And now Maryland is up against it as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Pennsylvania starting pitcher Maddie Graver has a nasty changeup. We've gotten a good taste of it so far today.
Well, and you see what she's been able to do, flipping it in any count, and just so much confidence in that pitch, can locate her fastball well. They complement each other so effectively. She's been lights out so far this afternoon. Love how she's staying mostly on the outer half. Will work it in on occasion, but you take a look at her total pitch count here and just how effective she's been. Under 50 pitches through 4 complete innings. Only giving up the 1 hit, 5 strikeouts. I'd say it's a pretty good day so far.
It is, and 29 of those 45 pitches have been strikes, so she's been in and around the zone. She has struck out 4 of the last 5 batters she has faced, 5 overall, and now the lineup flips over. She'll have to deal with Riley Phillips, the leadoff hitter who grounded out back in the first. And in Little League softball, we only track the pitches for your edification. It is not like the Little League baseball where everything is determined by pitch count. These girls, the only regulation you have for pitchers is their innings thrown.
When you look at that rule, and the cap is 6 innings per pitcher per day. If they go over the 6-inning mark, they have to have a day of rest the following day. But if they stay under, they can throw day after day as much as they'd like.
And that is something that makes it dramatically different in Little League softball than Little League baseball. Baseball, you've got to have more than one pitcher, where in softball, if you've got one dominant girl, she can carry you a long way.
It's the beauty of it. My selfish opinion.
2-hopper to second. Finley Franz able to get the out. Riley Phillips is retired. She's done a nice job fielding her position so far today. 4 assists, along with 1 put out for number 29 in white.
Claire Ford.
Importance of defense, making the routine plays, having Maddie Graver's back. It's such a big factor into the effectiveness that we've seen from her. You see there the breakdown of outs. She's had 8 balls put in play, the 5 strikeouts. Defense stepping up big.
Well, since we last saw Claire Ford, she has grown 4 inches. She is now up to 5'2" after being one of the shortest girls in last year's regional. But Claire is the #1 voice on this team. She is a Gold Glove level shortstop and really gifted. And her favorite softball player in the world is the former University of Washington All-American Sis Bates, now with Portland of the AUSL. This rip down the right field line, just foul.
We've talked about the growing coverage from an ESPN standpoint of softball as a whole, and I think the coolest part is players like Claire Ford would never know Sis Bates existed if she wasn't able to watch her on TV.
Yep.
The visibility of the game from a college standpoint and professional standpoint has grown astronomically. It's been so much fun to be a part of.
She tries to hold up on the changeup, couldn't do it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Claire's the youngest of 4 kids. Let's see what Graver comes up with. It's ripped to short and a leaping grab by Allie Heffron. One shortstop takes away a base hit from the other shortstop.
Now batting
Good piece of
number
hitting here by
7,
Claire Ford. Barrels this ball up
Preston.
nicely. That pitch in the other batter's box, but gets her hands extended. But how about it? Allie Heffron leaving her feet, the diving grab, or the jump and grab out of the air. Really good stuff. The react time, so fast.
So now this is pitcher against pitcher. Rowan Preston, who also plays field hockey. Big fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. Lays off the pitch up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Only 1 base runner allowed so far by Maddie Graver. A single by Riley Medford in the second. And she was stranded right there at first base. Rolled to third with Elder. Strong throw across the diamond, and it's another 1-2-3 frame for Maddie Graver. It's getting late here in Bristol, Connecticut. Maryland down 6-0 as we head to the 6th.
Don't worry.
Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. On a picture-perfect day for softball here in Bristol, Connecticut, we head to the 6th inning, where Pennsylvania is in complete control, looking to add to their 6-0 lead against a new pitcher for Maryland. Harper Shockley is a 12-year-old from Laurel, Maryland, the daughter of Blair and Julia. They are both poultry farmers, and she has 10-year-old twin brothers, Asher and Rhett. So Big Sis, who loves her watermelon, comes in to try and keep the score at 6-0. So Rowan Preston, after pitching the first 5 innings, has just switched places with Harper, who started at second base. And now the umpires are going to go over and meet with the Little League officials underneath the grandstand. Not sure what the issue is at this point. And now we are set. Top of the order.
7, Allie Heffron.
For Pennsylvania, Allie Heffron is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored.
Allie Heffron has been a lot of fun to watch at the top of the order, too. Not only is she a good leadoff hitter because of her consistency and ability to get on base, she's super aggressive on the bases as well, relies on the speed.
Nicely done at shortstop by Claire Ford. That was a routine play, but with the speed of Heffron, the ball wasn't scorched. You had to pick it up and get rid of it quickly.
0-0, Peyton.
And on the flip side, we have seen, I mean, it hasn't been one brilliant play after another around and behind Maddie Graver, but there have been a lot of routine plays that have been made by Pennsylvania defensively, and they have not had an error yet. Meanwhile, Maryland has 3 errors on the board, and you've talked about that the last couple of days, Alex. You've got to make the routine plays, and those who do that typically are going to win the game.
You talk about just making the routine plays, keeping base runners off base. And then not only that, when you force throws or try to rush things, then that's when the errant throws happen or the mishandled balls and base runners advance. That's when it can become really dangerous for the team and kind of losing grasp on the games. You see the runs start to really compound at that point. Pennsylvania has been fantastic defensively. Maryland looking to respond really well. Shockley is a pitcher that locates her pitches effectively, throws a lot of strikes. I think her defense is going to have to really step up behind her. She's not going to be that overpowering type of pitcher, which started to see Rowan Preston start the game throwing with some good velocity.
Withelder draws a walk. She's from a big softball, baseball family. We've talked about her dad being the manager and third base coach, but Peyton's great uncle, Albie Barunas, played professional ball back in the 1950s. And Albie's actually the one who taught Matt how to pitch back in the day. Generation after generation, baseball to softball, softball to baseball. There's 0-0. Just off the outside corner to Maddie Graver. Maddie's got a bunt single and a run scored. As part of that 3-run 4th inning, the pitch gets through the catcher. And scampering to second is Peyton Withelder. Harper Shockley with her 3-0 pitch, and she loses another Pennsylvania batter. Consecutive walks with 1 out will bring up the dangerous cleanup hitter, Emmeline Daubert, who has probably the biggest hit so far in this game, her 2-run single in the 4th inning. Helped to put a little cushion on the scoreboard for Pennsylvania.
Harper Shockley came into the circle trying to throw a lot of strikes and knowing that one of the things that she's best at is locating pitches.
Throw to second. Safe. Good strong throw by Riley Medford. But Withelder able to get back.
Good heads-up defense here, keeping the base runners honest. You had a big lead with Peyton Withelder over at second. So Riley Medford behind the dish fires across to make sure that she's not going to try to do any kind of delayed steal.
Check swing. I guess no contact was made as the ball gets away. Both runners advance.
And just not the control that you want to see if you're Coach Waters.
And she falls behind again, 3-0 to Emmeline Daubert with first base open. And that snaps a streak of 9 consecutive balls. Now Shockley has relocated the strike zone, and she'll deal with a 3-1 pitch to Daubert. She did foul that back, so the count goes full. That's a break for Shockley as that pitch was up.
Tough break for Emmeline Daubert, knowing that she's throwing a lot of balls right now, squares to bunt, just to try to see the pitch, but should have pulled back on that one, nearly hit her.
Now she does draw the walk, throw to third. The runner strayed a little too far and was fortunate to get back. Peyton Withelder able to get in under the tag of Riley Phillips. Well, we see the arm of Riley Medford. We talked about how much they missed her last year. She has a cannon.
She's throwing the ball all around, which I like to see that kind of confidence. Peyton Withelder here, a couple of big leads. Last several pitches, some pickoff attempts here. Trying to keep her honest.
Well, Mackenzie Gressens does not get cheated when she swings the bat. She had the triple to deep center field and came in to score the first run of the game. And now batting with the bases loaded, a chance to really blow it open. I mean, it'll be a big enough task for Maryland in the bottom of the 6th inning to score at least 6 runs to keep it going. They can't afford to fall behind by more. If you're Harper Shockley, you're looking for an atom ball or a strikeout. You don't want that. Withelder scores on the wild pitch. Graver moves to third. Daubert down to second. Now Shockley's ahead in the count, 1-2. Good battle shaping up here between Shockley and Gressens.
Tough situation to come in right now. You got Shockley just throwing out 22 pitches. 16 of them have been for balls. So if you're a hitter, you're walking into the box a little more patient. Even in a 2-strike count, you've got to see it over the middle of the plate.
Popped up toward third, Phillips. And that is the first time in 2 games Mackenzie Gressens has not reached base safely for Pennsylvania. A big second out here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting number 11, Shay Holly.
The left-hander Shay Holly stands in. The daughter of Jason, who's a juvenile probation officer, and her mom is Carrie, who is a physical therapy assistant. And she's going to turn 12 years old before long. August 22nd is when her birthday comes around. She just finished the 5th grade last month at Minersville Elementary School. And apparently she can touch her elbows behind her back. We've heard that. We have now seen that. I hope we can share that video with you. Yes, she can touch her elbows behind her back.
Super impressive. We know it. If you have found yourself at home trying to do this, don't worry, we have too.
Slap to third. And that's a nice job by Harper Shockley to get out of more damage. She gives up just 1 run after walking the bases full. Maryland needs 7 in the bottom of the 6th to keep this game going. The Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Well, there is Shay Holly, who we mentioned a few moments ago, can touch her elbows behind her back. And here is the video evidence. My goodness.
Double jointed, flexible. I don't think you can use the word flexible because that's something different.
If that ever happens to me, I'm going straight to the hospital.
Same. I mean, one word, ouch. Well, I tried. I did try. I was like, I think I'm going to tear my bicep the way I was trying to maneuver it. But hey, cool stuff.
It's great to be young and flexible.
I guess.
So again, that's another one. How do you find out that you can do that in the first place? If you're Shay.
I've got questions.
Yeah.
Agree.
Let's take a look at the game summary. Pennsylvania has been in control, scoring a run in the second, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and another run in the top of the 6th. And that means Maddie Graver is working on a 1-hit shutout and can close out Maryland with another inning like we have seen before. Olivia Gaddis, the cleanup hitter, who grounded out to second her first time. We've got some defensive changes. Kendall and Mike now in left. Shay Holly with those elbows playing second base. And Grace Wetzel is playing at first base. Bouncing ball right side. First chance for the new second baseman, Holly. And she fields her position perfectly. 1 away. And that'll bring up Riley Medford, the only Maryland batter who has reached base today against Maddie Graver. If not for her single in the second inning, Graver would be knocking on the door of a no-hitter.
Not just a no-hitter.
Perfect game.
Perfect game.
Yeah.
No walks.
That is an excellent point. Slow roller right side. Again, just to the position. And I tell you what, Shay Holly has been up for the challenge as Pennsylvania continues to make the routine plays. And so it comes down to Allie Russell.
Now batting number 21.
I know one thing for certain, too. The
Russell.
sport of softball has a way of working itself out in that if you have a new defensive player, the ball's always going to be hit to her. Shea Holly getting some good action.
Allie Russell lined out in her previous plate appearance. She is the neighbor and best friend of her fellow pitcher, teammate Peyton Withelder. Three balls and no strikes. Russell draws a 2-out walk. Second base runner of the game. And the first walk issued by Maddie Graver.
So earlier you mentioned broadcasters shouldn't take credit for the coincidences that we get and the teams we get to call all things. Do we take responsibility for jinxes?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
If we had that much power up here, we're underpaid.
You're so right. You're so right.
I wish we could.
Sometimes I wish, right?
Yeah. Number 66, Sam Timmons, takes a pitch at the knees for a called strike. Off the end of the bat. And another routine play to end it. Nicely done by Grace Wetzel. And a highly impressive one-hit shutout on the board for Maddie Graver. Pennsylvania wins at 7-0.
The final score of Pennsylvania 7, Maryland 0. Stick around for our next game.
Pennsylvania, fantastic game. Offense exploded, 6 hits, but really just the good execution of situational hitting. A total team win here. Led, of course, in the circle by Maddie Graver, but the defense stepped up big. The hitters were hitting and executed situational opportunities. Fantastic. Really good stuff. Maryland looking to bounce back.
She only threw 69 pitches and did not throw more than 13 pitches in any inning. So now we will turn things over here in Bristol for the afternoon, the rest of the afternoon and into the evening, to the crew that will bring you the New England Regional, starting at 2 o'clock Eastern with Concord, New Hampshire, and St. Albans, Vermont. But today's winner, Pennsylvania, gets tomorrow off before facing New Jersey at 4 o'clock in a winner's bracket game. The loser today will face elimination tomorrow. For Alex, I'm Doug. So long from Bristol.